Nobody in that neighborhood trusted him. A 130-pound jet black Cane Corso with a head the size of a basketball, amber eyes that tracked every single movement, and a body that could fill an entire door frame. The kind of dog that made strangers cross the street without looking back. The kind of dog people pointed at through car windows and said, that thing should not be around children. But the night Zara came home, everything changed. And what Phantom did at 2:17 in the morning, 6 weeks later, would silence every single one of them. Marcus Washington was 29 years old, a shift supervisor at a logistics warehouse outside of Memphis, Tennessee, and the kind of man who didn't make decisions halfway. When he decided to get a dog, he didn't get a small one. He drove to the Shelby County Animal Shelter on a Tuesday afternoon and found Phantom sitting alone in kennel 14, 9 months old, already 60 pounds, perfectly still, watching the door with those heavy amber eyes like he had been expecting someone specific for a very long time. He's a Cane Corso, the shelter worker told him. Full grown, we're talking 120, maybe 130 pounds. I just want to make sure you understand what you're signing up for. Marcus looked at Phantom. Phantom looked back. I know, I'll take him. He topped out at exactly 130 pounds, and he became exactly what everyone on the block feared, and nothing they had assumed. He never barked without a reason, never bit, never lunged. But he watched. Every car that slowed near the house, every stranger who paused too long at the gate. Marcus used to say Phantom didn't need obedience school, he needed a purpose. He just needed someone worth protecting. And then Deja moved in, and then the pregnancy test sat on the bathroom counter for 3 full minutes, and then 9 months of Phantom pressing that enormous wrinkled head against Deja's belly every single evening, slow and deliberate, like he was already listening for someone he hadn't met yet. Some bonds don't start the day you meet. They start long before either of you understands what they're going to mean. The day they brought Zara home from the hospital, Marcus carried her through the front door in her car seat and set her down on the living room rug. Deja stood 2 steps back. Both of them had read every article. Both of them had done everything right. Slow introduction, neutral space, calm voices, no sudden movements. They were prepared for anything. What they were not prepared for was Phantom. He came around the corner from the hallway, stopped dead in the doorway, and stared, not at the car seat, not at the blanket, at Zara's face. For 11 full seconds, Marcus counted, because time does something strange when a whole room goes completely quiet. Phantom didn't move, didn't breathe as far as Marcus could tell, just looked at her. Then he walked forward, the slow, deliberate way he moved when he was completely serious about something. He lowered his entire 130-pound frame all the way to the floor, pressed flat on his stomach, and rested his chin on the edge of her car seat. Zara blinked at him, reached out one tiny fist, and pressed it gently against the side of his enormous face. Phantom closed his eyes. "Okay," Deja whispered. "Okay." From that moment on, he never left her side. Not during tummy time on the living room rug, not during bath time in the little pink tub, not during the 3 a.m. feedings when the whole house was dark and Deja was running on 4 hours of sleep and pure love. But what was coming 6 weeks later, nobody in that house had prepared for that. 6 weeks in, the house had found its rhythm. Phantom slept on the hardwood floor directly beside Zara's bassinet every single night. Not in his dog bed, not in the hallway. Right there, close enough that his slow, steady breathing filled the room like a second heartbeat in the dark. It was a Wednesday, 2:17 in the morning. Marcus woke to a sound he had never heard Phantom make before. Not a bark, not a whine. Something lower, something that moved through the walls and pulled him out of sleep before his brain had even caught up with what was happening. He was down the hallway in 4 seconds flat. Phantom was standing over the bassinet, not aggressive, not growling, completely rigid. Amber eyes locked on Zara's face, his entire 130-pound body trembling. The specific trembling of a dog working very, very hard to hold itself completely still. Marcus leaned over the bassinet. Zara's lips were pale. Her chest was moving too fast. When he pressed his hand to her forehead, it felt like pressing it against something left out in the August sun for hours. The thermometer read 104.1. They were in the car in 3 minutes. Urgent care in 8. The doctor used the words febrile and seizure risk in the same sentence, and Marcus gripped the edge of the exam table and stared at a spot on the ceiling until the numbers finally started coming back down. Deja didn't say a word. She just held Zara's tiny hand and kept breathing. By sunrise, the fever had broken. Zara was sleeping peacefully in a hospital bassinet with a small monitor clipped to her toe, her chest rising and falling in the slow, easy rhythm of a baby who had absolutely no idea how close it had been. When they got home the next afternoon, Phantom was sitting right at the front door. He didn't bark, he didn't jump. He lowered his enormous head slowly and pressed it against the side of Zara's carrier. Then he looked up at Marcus, just looked at him, with those steady amber eyes. Marcus sat down on the entryway floor right then and there, and Phantom walked over and laid his heavy head in his lap. These are the moments that change what you believe about animals, about instinct, about what it really means to watch over someone who cannot watch over themselves. Zara is 18 months old now. She pulls Phantom's ears without warning. She falls asleep draped across his back on the black leather couch. 12 pounds of pure chaos on top of 130 pounds of endless patience. And Phantom does not move a single muscle. She uses his back as a surface for her crackers. He pats that giant wrinkled head with both hands at the same time, like she's playing bongo drums, and he just sits there with his eyes halfway closed, enduring every single second of it. Marcus still thinks about that Wednesday night sometimes, about how fast a fever climbs while a whole house sleeps, about how Phantom was already there, already at the bassinet, already sounding the alarm in the only language he had. The neighbors who used to cross the street, they don't do that anymore. They see Zara out in the front yard, both tiny fists buried in Phantom's jet black fur, that enormous wrinkled head tilted sideways, those amber eyes watching her the way they have always watched her. And they just go quiet. Some of them wave now. Being a protector doesn't always look the way people expect. It doesn't always look like size or strength or something loud in the dark. Sometimes it looks like a 130-pound dog pressing his chin to the edge of a car seat, closing his eyes and deciding right then in that very first moment that this small, brand new person is exactly who he has been waiting to protect his whole life. And if you're ever thinking about bringing a large breed dog into your home, please don't let fear or a label stop you. Learn what they need, give them time, give them purpose, because the ones the world calls dangerous are sometimes the ones who love most carefully of all. Did Phantom protect Zara that night because of love, or is it just instinct? Tell me in the comments.